Well, so at least we're seeing a bit of a change of heart with Haley. And Nia, Nia Knoll, she had a nightmare that the Agent of Liberty and the Sons of Liberty were going to attack Brainy because he downloaded the registry in his head. All the network, all the data that you can locate aliens from that database is inside his head, and now he's going to be a walking target if anybody finds out. And now Lockwood has the DEO weapons, and the president deputized his soldiers. And I guess I was wrong from the last episode. I thought he had a change, that once he saw that day in the White House, it caused him to believe that Supergirl wouldn't do anything like that. And I knew for a fact that Jimmy was going to have the Neonol into his system, but what is it going to turn into? Is it going to become an unstable guardian? And that technique that shrink was teaching him, that could probably help me because I go through some bad anxiety and among other things. That would be perfect for me, and I hope it will come to get used to me. And now Supergirl is... She has to go complete under quiet. She has to put down Supergirl for a while until all this blows over, until she sees the Red Daughter, until she sees her, and then there's going to be a fight happening, and then the systems are going to say, "Whoa, why is there two of them? That one must have been the one who did that incident at the White House." And that nice guy Steve wouldn't cooperate with Supergirl, but she did with Kara Danvers. And Otis was nothing but a walking kryptonite bomb. But luckily Steve got his hands on the hard drive, and that means from that hard drive she might be able to find out what's going on, and then she'll probably get a flashback. Her, Rain, the Harrenelle crossed the chain reaction and made a copy of Supergirl and ended up in Russia. And I hope Jimmy gets to pass through this, and I hope Lena will find a way to fix him. And I wonder how far this is going to go, because I mean, it's not long until the season finale starts. Anyway. Well, I guess we're going to have to find out until the next episode. So, until then, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction video, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. So until then, YouTubers and YouTuberettes, I'm ConorArmCEO. Thank you. And overnight. Morning, you guys. I just finished watching the 19th episode of Supergirl, The American Dreamer, and I have to say, Nia Knoll, the Dreamer, she did a fantastic job while she was out there in the streets, and the way she was turning everything into reality, like that lasso whip she made that looked like a telephone cord, and she left Sleeping Beauty marked on the guy's forehead, and things were getting a wee bit hectic, involved in trying to figure out how to fix Jimmy by removing the Harrenelle out of his system, but apparently the more they try, the more it's gonna erupt, and it also triggers on his PTSD, which triggered his super hearing, his super strength, his laser vision, and then shortly after that, they were trying to figure out a way to extract it, because I mean, Lex Luthor did it when he was passing the Harrenelle DNA into Supergirl to save her, because she was actually gonna die on the Red Daughter. I don't know if I said Supergirl or Red Daughter, but anyway, you know what I mean. And then she couldn't figure it out, and then she started to go all cold on Kara because she wasn't there a lot, but Supergirl and Alex was. And the reason that she stepped back, because she did say in the last episode she had to lay low because now people are after her. She's public enemy 101, all thanks to Red Daughter's actions for attacking the White House and framing Supergirl. And then Kara started to put together all these articles and try to put the clues together, and she went Dolph Cisco by writing on the walls, or Fred from Angel writing things on the wall, going completely insane. Well, at least Kara's not insane. And then Neonol, she showed up at that bar where aliens go to, which I haven't seen that place in ages. I really love that bar, and I hope there's actually a theme bar of that bar from the show, you know, like what they did, a theme cafe with Central Perk, and I think they did a theme sightsee where the Big Bang Theory's apartment, because I know the show's over, but I haven't officially watched the last remaining episodes. And then Brainy decided to tap into his brain and find out what's triggering, because he believed Jimmy and all both believed that it was Lex Luthor that's triggering his PTSD, but it turns out it wasn't. It was all triggering the fact of the issue with his father. He showed up dead early before the service started, and he went to his father's grave, and coffin, and said, "I love you so much, Dad. I'll promise I'll do you proud." And then the woman that was owning the place told him that the service hasn't started yet. But as soon as he walked outside, two bullies showed up, insulted him, insulted his family, insulted his dead father, who's about to be buried. And then he stood up and said, "My father was a soldier. He better show some respect." And so they chased after him. They grabbed him and they trapped him in a coffin. And that's why his sister got angry at him all those years, because he thought he disappeared into a diner where he locked himself in the bathroom until the funeral was over, because she wanted her big brother to protect her, to count on him. And that's what he was actually going to do until those bullies trapped him in that coffin. And that's what triggered it the most. And then the sister had to get in and tell him that you need to power through, you need to push through. And then just like that, he walked up to the bullies, phased them away, opened up the case, and then left his younger self. And then as soon as he woke up, he was levitating a couple of inches off the bed. He can control his powers now. And the Liberty and the Children of I nearly said Shield there. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched the Agents of Shield, but I've already got tons of spoilers thrown at me. The last time I watched it was when, I have no idea, but the Agent of Liberty and the Sons of Liberty decided to crash into Worldwide Media to capture Dreamer after she did this really amazing, hope-reached, touched deeply message that who she was. Not only she's human, not only she's an alien, not only she's a superhero, but she's a transgender person who wanted to become a woman and become a hard-working person and to become a superhero like Kara. Originally, she didn't want to be a superhero, but her mother, before she died, appeared in her dreams and says, "I need you to do this. You're going to be the best hero ever." And despite, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you are the Dreamer. Things happen, things change, and not the way you're expecting, until you have a jealous sister who said you're not even a real woman, who slams you down to the ground. I still think that was pretty cruel. And then Lena felt touched of the live broadcast, and so did Brainy. And the one thing that he said to Lena was, "Oh my, you're leaking." He really needs to work on his timing, because I mean, sometimes he doesn't know when to be quiet, especially detailing the Anols, every detail when they first met in that gorgeous rooftop garden that Kara made one day, which was gorgeous. And so the Liberties, they broke through Wide Media, and then issued to arrest Dreamer. But luckily, Brainy, Alex, and Jimmy and his sister were there to block out the lights. And I'm telling you, she whooped ass. Kara whooped ass. Frederick whooped ass. Well, secretly, as in, "You saved my life." "Did I?" We should cover. Yeah. And luckily, that change of the live feed also convinced his sister to rise up and to blow the whistle on the work that's both been involved in Lex Luthor and the transfusion of the Heronel. And she did kick ass in that bar, which it was used as a camp and people for shelter to be protected. And American Woman playing in the background while she was kicking ass. I thought that was good taste. And then Ben thought it was a good idea to break through people's houses and grab aliens and apprehend them. And that pissed his wife off. Not Ben's wife, the captured wife and the two kids who witnessed the whole thing. And why didn't he arrest her? Because she was an alien as well, which was a bit strange. And then eventually after that, Lena and Kara had a heart-to-heart talk, and she was telling that she is partly responsible about what happened to Lex. And I thought from that moment, as in secret to secret, I thought Kara was going to tell Alex who she really was and how badly she wanted to tell her. But as people who are Smallville fans probably know, that probably wasn't a good idea. So, and then shortly after that, Ben had a gun pointed out, looking for a Dreamer, and then superpowered Jimmy Olsen not only broke his gun, but broke his bloody hand, and then he got home with a cast and a sling, and then he saw everything pure dark, and then that woman appeared, and then vanished into the night with thorns poked out of her arm. She walked into Ben's house, and murdered his wife. That's what happens when you have a dad who completely corrupted your mind and then corrupted his only son before he died, and then corrupted his younger son, who's now having mixed feelings of the matter that he found out that his best friend was an alien. And then so on and so forth. So he's going to go completely crazy, and I don't know what's going to happen next. So until we watch the next episode. So instead of me babbling, what do you say we get started? Right, that episode was a bit intense. Not only Lena and Kara went straight to Casnia to see what Lex was up to. The plane was being attacked by some sort of lightning, and luckily she was able to transform into Supergirl and to land the plane safely. And the entire base that the Red Daughter was stationed in was completely cleared out. And in her room was pictures of Kara and Alex, Kara and Lena, and Kara and Supergirl, and she nearly had a complete spaz attack. And then Miss Tessbacher was in this room, and she was acting all jumpy, and I thought it was a robot. But it turns out from the previous seasons, there was this guy who was able to duplicate himself, and then the more he was duplicating, the other copies were being stupid. So now, Miss Tessbacher has that ability. She's no longer human. And there's kryptonite, and there's a lot of Harinel injection capsules. And especially a DEO dampening cuff. And then the base in Casnia was going to be on self-destruct, so they had to get out of there right away. But luckily they managed to find evidence about the Secretary-Chief of Staff has been helping Lex involving transporting aliens from the DEO, so they can have their powers extracted, whatever Luthor's going to be doing. Especially when he has the Harinel and DNA cells of aliens and metahumans that Supergirl and the DEO took down before. He's trying to make his own image of metahumans, but in his ruling, like he's been wanting to do for years. And the funeral happened. Ben and his son, Ben's son was speaking his eulogy of how much he's going to miss his mother, and just randomly Ben just walked off and decided to target on the man that killed the woman that killed his wife, which everyone knows that all that was all his fault. Even at the end of the episode, his son said so. At least that was one Lockwood that got out of the insanity. And then he tested an undiluted Harinel into himself, and now he has powers, and I think he has a dampening device so his son wouldn't know. And then Dreamer, an armored up superpowered Guardian, was in the fight and made a special return. Martian Manhunter returned on a nick of time. Fantastic nick of time. It was brilliant. And Kara was this close for telling Lena, and then she had that thing, so like, I don't think I'm ever going to trust anybody again. Now, to be honest, when Lena in the last episode said, I had some secrets from you, Kara should have said, since you told me this secret, I think it's fair I tell you this. Then she'll tell her that she's Supergirl, because I know for a fact, after this long length of time, when she finds out, she's going to be angry. Smallville Lex Luthor angry. And then he becomes the Lex Luthor, and but this time, Lionel won't be pushed out of a window. Because by the looks of it, he's already dead in that universe. And I wonder how far Ben's going to go. Now he has the Harinel and the DEO and the Sons of Liberty in his pocket. And I hope that John's going to be sticking around. And sorry for the lighting change. Fortunately, while I was watching the episodes and decided to do my reviews, the power went out, so I'm just going to have to get around to powering the house back up again. So, before I watched this episode, it was the other one I was watching, I thought the president didn't know anything about it at all, but he does, and he's working with Lex Luthor and tried to abduct Kara, but luckily she managed to take down the security guards by an act of self-defense and by using a chair going all Jackie Chan style. And then the Red Daughter was standing at the other door and went all Gene Hackman on Kara by wrapping a chain kryptonite around her, with the rock of kryptonite and the chain wrapped around it. And she wasn't exposed to kryptonite much as Kara has, and she was able to break the chain, which was quite shockingly impressive. And then Jean and Brainy were looking to find what happened to the people that was hiding in that alien bar. You know, the alien bar that I like. And it turns out there was a little keepsake that was left behind, and it was a little girl. And apparently they were abducted, and they were being sent through a portal, as we all saw before. And then they tried to go all Star Wars by pretending to be a captive, but then Brainy's plan of cloaking himself into Ben didn't work. He got tortured, he got interrogated, and then he got a very badly damaged shock to the head, which causes him to reboot and be an emotionless Brainy. And thought to tell it was a great idea to stay captured and go on astral projection to find out where they are so they can save them. And then did the same to Jean, which now I'm not liking this Brainy, because it kind of sounds like the evil Brainiac has emerged, like when we saw in Smallville Brainiac, and then suddenly into the future Brainiac 5 starring James Masters, which was back in the earlier years. And then I feel really sorry for Alex, especially when she found out she was going to be a mom very fast by a 17-year-old girl who was expecting a baby, but then suddenly changed her mind. And then Jimmy's sister came out and saying that she was in the army, but she was in love with her sergeant, who was a female, and had to keep it all quiet. But then before they even got the chance to get married, she died on patrol, which was unfair, which was sad. And then Ben started to go a little psycho, because he keeps fully injecting himself with the unstable Harnell. And then Lena and Jimmy confronted Ben and told him that all of this was a design act by Lex Luthor, and he had no clue that was all him being screwed up, because that was all Lex Luthor's MO. And then he decided to go a little bit insane and started to lose his hair, and was about to kill Otis, but instead Kryptonite Otis had the upper hand because he told him every information and he was going to kill him. Then Jimmy showed up, and then he decided he ended up being unstable. I don't know what was happening. His eyes were turning white. He was acting all like pure adrenaline, like couldn't shut off. And Lena asking her mother to extract the Harnell out of both Ben and Jimmy's system. She ended up using a young truth parasite onto her, and she actually said to her, "I love you," even it ached her to say it. And I was like, yeah, but she is a bitch. And then things started to get real bad. Red Daughter showed up at the Danvers home, and then this big fight happened, and then the little boy was brought up again. You know, Kara's friend, who he saved for the first time and became her friend. She still doesn't know that he's still alive. And the Red Daughter has evolved with this special ability, which, by the look of things, was when the plane was attacked. That was her. Because I recognized the lightning that came out of her hand, and she was bitten the crap out of her completely. Now, between Rain and the Red Daughter, Rain still had the bigger damage. Because, I mean, at least she looked like she came out of a Rocky cover video or something, and what I saw was amazing. She extracted the energies of the yellow sun from life of nature and healed her. And then the Red Daughter saw the whole thing, and I don't know what caused her to act like that. And then Alex got her memories back, because she was getting these memories from out of the blue. One where they both fell off a cliff, but she was able to catch her using laser vision to heat up her s'mores. The day that she saw Kara saving the plane for the first time in season 1, episode 1. And now all of this was a complete front. Luthor attacked Kaznia and stopped the Red Daughter to make it look like that he was a hero. and now everything is happening the way it's going to be until they figure out a way to expose the entire thing and have that son of a bitch impeached and bring back Wonder Woman as the president. She had everything great until the flipping Agents of Liberty and Otis and Mercy, it screwed everything up. And honestly, I thought Lena was actually faking the fact that she poisoned her mum, but it turns out she did. Well, anyway, this is my final afterthought review. And as I said from the very, very beginning, I did say I'm planning some new updates with my video, and that will be next after I finish this one. So enjoy my updates and plans for my future reactions. So here we go.